Welcome to Can Angels Fly Tarot. I'm Nancy. And today I'm here to have a discussion about, uh, basically, I'll say, it's an extension to the video I made that was called Can You Sell Your Soul to the Devil? So I guess I could say this is a part two. Part two, can you sell your soul to the devil? And the reason why I want to talk more in depth about uh, a person selling their soul to the devil is so that and I, when I say we, I'm talking about people in humanity, can get a clear perspective about what that actually means and how it is important to understand what is meant by selling your soul to the devil because it's directly tied into our need to um, be able to accept personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. In the course of this video, I'll try to um, clarify what I mean. One of the things that I've noticed is very popular relative to the concept of selling your soul to the devil is that the concept is actually, or the idea is actually glamorized. And when I say the concept of selling your soul to the devil as being glamorized, is because many times when society hears that statement or that question posed, or someone uh, sharing that they have sold their soul to the devil, we usually hear it with very famous people, people that have achieved their dream state. When I talk about famous people, I'm talking about entertainers and the rich, different people like that. And so I want to start my conversation there. Glamorization of selling your soul to the devil, as mentioned, is glamorized because the people that, again, publicly speak out and are heard widely, and publicity, they have publicity, I'll say, are usually famous entertainers. I don't know any in particular, but I've heard of the famous talking about how they sold to the devil, and so I just kind of want to explore that. Now I apologize for stumbling all over the place. I don't have many notes. I just got little sporadic notes everywhere, and I just wanted to, talk with you, ladies and gentlemen, today on this subject matter. Again, I want to talk to you about it because it's directly tied into us who, me, you, and any individual in humanity having the ability or capacity to accept personal responsibility or not having the capability of accepting personal responsibility. Back to the glamorization of selling one's soul to the devil. To be famous suggests that you have a level of, again, publicity. And if you have publicity, if the public's eyes are on you, then you have the potential to influence the way they think and what they think about, as well as their interests. And so when a famous person testifies that they've sold their soul to the devil for their acquired riches or fame, that suggests to anybody that is viewing them or perceiving them that they can do it too. That they can do it too. That they can sell their soul to the devil. And I know that many people probably think like, why haven't I had an offer to sell my soul to the devil? Or how can I summons the devil so I can sell my soul to the devil so I can start living the life that I want to live? right there, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the influence that famous people, popular people, or people that have a large social outreach have on others. Let's see. I want to go into detail. It just irritates me how I get on this camera. As soon as I press start, my brain goes completely blank. So just ride the wave with me, if you will. Of course, you know I'm going somewhere with this. A famous person, a person with social influence. Why have they gotten to be the best musician? Why have they acquired all of the glitz and glamour? Well, keeping in mind the subject matter is about selling one's soul to the devil. How can I say this? How can I explain this part of the concept? I like to pose questions. It helps me organize my thoughts. So I'm going to pose a question right here. How can the devil reach the masses? How can an ancient negative or malevolent entity or energy reach the masses? Well, that ancient, malevolent, negative energy can reach the masses by or through shared themes like music, entertainment, broad scale outreach, um, media, broad scale outreach, I don't know, news, broad scale outreach. And so what I'm saying is that the reason why some people that acquire extraordinary fame and riches is because they have a larger outreach. It almost like their calling is bigger or broader or enormous. I'm going to just say a famous person, whoever that famous person may be, is supported and enhanced by that ancient malevolent energy we call the devil in the way that they are, with the glitz and the glamour and the fame and the power. Because that famous person is going to have an impact or influence, overall influence, over a mass or a numerous amount of people. What I'm trying to get to is to just the old common Jane and Joe like myself and other folks out there, like yourself maybe, that too are offered the opportunity to sell your soul to the devil. I'm going to stop because I also want to talk about another aspect associated with the selling of one's soul to the devil. In another video, I talked about how there are two words that sound alike. Are they called homonyms or something? And in that video, I talked about the soul as SOUL, talking about the spirit within, as well as SOLE, which is the individual avatar, a sole proprietor, uh, vessel, the vessel. And so even when talking about selling one's soul to the devil, we're talking about an individual accepting a mission with their soul, SOLE, avatar. They're going to use their physical body. They're going to use their five senses. They are going to use their ability to touch another in order to influence or impact a person's soul, SOUL, the spirit part of a being, and to mislead that soul into what? Becoming a representative of the ancient, malevolent, negative energy we call a devil. I wish I could break this down successfully. And this whole concept is really important. It always has been. But at this point in time in the history of humanity, this time period of what has been coined the awakening, it is important, really, really important to understand this concept. Because remember, this concept is directly related to one's individual's ability to accept personal responsibility or to not accept personal responsibility. Let me talk about my story relative to selling one's soul to the devil. I want to say maybe it was about 6 years ago, maybe more, seven, I don't know. It's been in the last 10 years. I personally was confronted by another human being. This other human being I know very, very well. This other human being that I know very, very well, one day, their their essence, their soul went blank. It went blank. And in their soul's place, that ancient, malevolent, negative energy stepped in and it spoke to me. And it's no way I can get you to believe my testimony. It's almost like you have to have the certain experiences for yourself to know if it's true or not. So I'm just sharing my story so that I can kind of make this whole video make sense. Hopefully, I can do it that way. Anyway, this person that I know, um, whose personal soul was like shut down, it was like put to sleep. And that ancient, malevolent energy I talked about, negative energy, stepped in and it spoke with me. And it spoke like with multiple voices at the same time. And it told me, it says, Nancy, know me by name. It says, you have a natural, I'm trying to kind of, it's not verbatim. So I'm kind of just trying to tell you what it was saying. You, Nancy, have a natural um, connection with certain components of this world. The components that the entity was speaking of through this person were I have a connection, direct connection with senior citizens, older people, elderly people. I have a connection with young adults and teenagers, and I have a connection with uh, children and infants. I shared in my previous videos on this subject matter that I've always had these connections. I didn't go into detail about what I have had a connection to. I kept it very generic, but it's something else that I want to go into detail about. So I'm sharing a little bit more of the story in a little bit more detail. And so those various elements that I have a direct or a natural linkage with. When I say natural linkage, I mean that those particular that those particular people and those age groups have always been in my life. Something I can't walk away from, is something I can't get away from. Is there. It is a part of my life. It's a part of what defines my life. I always have had some form of influence over seniors, young adults, and children. Didn't want it. Don't like half of them, all of them, to tell you the truth. But who I am, I would never do anything wrong to either of them, nor would I mislead them. And that's important to know. So, going back to this ancient, malevolent, negative energy that was speaking to me through someone that I know, it goes on and says, so, Nancy, you have this natural connection with these particular people and these particular age brackets. I talked about this entity. I offer you that as your kingdom. Those as your kingdoms. So we can say those are three kingdoms. You kind of put in your mind's eye the story of Jesus Christ being tempted by Satan to have the kingdoms, something like that. So say, you can have the kingdom of the senior citizens. You can have the kingdom of the young adults. You can have the kingdom of the children and infants. I was like, now, number one, I was a bit shocked. So I'm just standing there like, wow. I'm freaked out because the person is voided. They're gone. And this entity has come in. And you've heard me talk about when entities walk in, it even changes a person's facade. Uh, facade. And so I'm trying to stay calm and cool because that's what I do when I'm confronted with foreign entities. So I'm trying to stay calm and cool. And this entity goes on and says, basically, I would have the power and authority. I would govern over those particular people in the age brackets. And the whole thing is, of course, my job would be to lead them through my soul body, SOLE, to darker places, to negative places on a soul level, SOUL, their spirit. Like, ooh. In return, again, this was really vague. It was so vague to me. I was like, oh really? I was like, that's, oh really? Remember, I was granted. Remember, you selling your soul, so it's something you're supposed to get in exchange. So in exchange, I would have got the power and authority and the trust of the senior citizens that I encountered, the young adults and teens that I encountered, and children and infants that I encountered. And so I want to talk about what that would mean, that they trusted me. I would find favor with them. What I would say or suggest would stand. I'm telling you my story because I'm trying to go somewhere and reveal something to you. Anyway, so the entity continues to speak through that person. And it goes on and talks about what I, would benefit. And I had an issue at the time. I kind of shared that in the other video. That what it was offering me was nothing that I had an interest in. Did you not hear me say a few moments ago? I'm not interested in no seniors. I can't stand kids, babies. They cry, all that kind of stuff. So, but I would never ever do anything to hurt them. See, this is interesting. Are you catching what I'm trying to share? I'm gonna try to cut it simply, give it to you simplistically. The devil comes to me and says, Nancy, you got all these, you always around seniors, young adults, teenagers, kids, infants. I'm going to allow you to have that kingdom, meaning you're going to have favor with them. Any troubles you ever had with them will be washed away. Your job would be to lead them to the darker or negative aspects of life. And in return, I'm going to give you favor with them. I'm going to give you authority with them. Meaning, I wouldn't had from their responses to me would have been in agreement with whatever I said. I would have reigned supreme as the queen for the seniors, for the young adults, for the teens, and for the children and infant. But I told you, I didn't like them. So the devil believed that I didn't like them to the point I was like, oh, I understand it's going to be beneficial to me now. Can't get rid of them. Might as well make it beneficial to me and agree. But that's not what I did because even though I don't favor uh, them for different reasons, and that's just they're just annoying, favor them for different. I don't favor them for different reasons. I still wouldn't hurt anyone or mislead anyone. Period. And so when the devil came to me and offered me that offer, and so I'm gonna tell you what else that would have benefited. Again, it was very vague, and so now I'm about to go in what was so vague about that offer, and it was still yet some years before I fully understand what would have been given to me if I had accepted these terms and conditions. I'm gonna give you an example. Seniors. A lot of seniors in all of my life, have always trusted me. I know seniors' personal business, they bank business. I handle their stuff, all kind of stuff, medicines, you name it. Their finances, all up in there. And so, had I agreed and have been willing to do the work of that ancient, malevolent, negative energy, just as always, I still would have had access to these seniors and all of their life works and would have been capable of manipulating or using what they had acquired in their life for my own benefit or any other negative or dark or um, demonic interest I may have had. And they would have never told me no. They would have never, ever told me no. They would have been blind and couldn't have seen. Unless, of course, they were truly covered. The same thing stood true with the young adults and the teens. You see, even I got girls around me, especially young women. I would have had favor with them. I would have been queen. I would have ruled supreme. And what if I see it would have been an example of how I could have used that kingdom to my benefit is, excuse me for being a bit blunt and maybe a little vulgar. Heck, I've had so many young women around me, I could be a madam. I'll say that. And it would benefit me. And with young women or even the young men, I have quite a few of them too, around me, I could have had some of the how can I say it? I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as possible for YouTube and for you. But I could have like the young men out here selling different items, and I benefit. Young women out here taking in prostitution. I'm the madam. I benefit. They would have known any no different. And those people, these young people, would have slowly been spiritually attacked and ultimately suffer deterioration, spiritual deterioration of their soul based on what I personally led them to do. The same thing as far as the seniors, the babies and children, oh my, same thing. To manipulate circumstances and situations in my favor as a direct result of having um, power and authority over children and infants. I don't even want to go into detail about that. This is, ugh. But I'm just trying to give you an example of what the benefits would have been for me to sell my soul to the devil. And I move on because now I want to speak about how it was some years before I really got clarity because I was walking around here for a few years cussing and fussing. Y'all know that's what I say I do. I was cussing and fussing like how the goddamn devil gonna come offer me a goddamn kingdom that I don't even want. So I'm cussing because this was exactly what I was doing. Offer me a kingdom about something I don't even want, mother sucker, and they ain't even clear about what I'm gonna get. I don't want that. So I was cussing. Then some time later, I met two women, and they had sold their soul to the devil. And one of the kingdoms that I know that they were offered, whether they know it or not, was a power and authority over young adults and teenagers. And these women were leading the youths that were around them astray. I'm making a video. What? You really getting on my nerves.
That's my baby.
Yeah, take it out. Here, it's another Ziploc there. You're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to take time. Hey, you're going to have to take time yourself.
We going to come and buy a pack from you today.
Whatever. Do you see? I'm making a video. Do you see it's another one of these around there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what you got there? Count. I apologize, y'all.
I got
see,
5.
I can't. That's not no damn 5.
All
See,
right,
they're about to make. Is baby here? Jake, is the baby here?
Yeah, she downstairs.
Okay. Where y'all about to go? It doesn't matter.
You don't have to do some hair?
Oh, okay. I apologize. Again, I have certain entities, I'll say, or beings, human beings in this case, that are around me consistently, nonstop. So it's very rare that I have time to myself. And so I move forward. And I think I was talking about these other women that were also offered to sell their soul. And they sold their soul and they began to govern or lead over the youths and the young adults, misleading them in a sexual manner. Oh, Lord. Bring her here. Now, you told me that you could handle her. Bring her here.
Nugget.
Oh, hush up, sweets.
Nugget.
Come on, hush up.
Nugget.
Oh, shush up. Say hi. Oh, you smell pretty good.
Nugget been a crybaby.
You can't be doing all that now. Go ahead and making a video. You want to say hi?
Nugget
Say hi.
You
Say
look like a
arrivederci.
spoiled little mad brat.
Say adios, girl. Say bon voyage.
Come on.
Say konnichiwa. Say konnichiwa, Granny. Ain't got time for this. Let's sing. Now, you in my video, but you got to shut up. Oh, we are matching, aren't we? We're cute. Let's sing our song. Have you said your ABCs today? Have you said your alphabet? Let's say it for the YouTube. You're messing up my video. I'm talking about selling my soul to the devil, and you interfering. And this week, you want to be self-out? Let's do it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I'm learning my ABCs. Next time, you're welcome to learn with me. Yay! Now, can you get off my lap? I think you're sleepy. Is she sleepy?
Come on, Bubble. Look, she made your shoe come on, Bubble.
I'm tired. They make your hot suit come up. Come on, go sleep, girl. Okay, go sleep, baby. Go sleep. Well, go sleep. Anyway, she messing up my video. I'm going to have to break this up in parts. So, find her a little pat or bye or something.
She's not sleepy.
You're not sleepy? I got to go back to my video. God, I can't talk to
Her
me
camera
like
looks
that.
so dirty.
I don't know. Here, go Auntie Pearl. She don't like you today. Go away.
Come on.
Okay, leave her alone. Leave her alone right here. Leave her here. Okay. Let me finish mine. Okay, come on,
Son.
just lay right here. Okay, you can't be crying now. You gonna get put out. Come on. Oh, and I got to deal with this, even if I ain't accept the contract with the devil. It's still here. It's just one. This man. This man. This man. This man. Okay. So you lay here. You be quiet. Let Greg go 5 more minutes. I'll make a part two. Want to get ready. Okay. Told you I don't like them very much. Anywho, so these other women took their position, whether they know it or not, and they execute power and authority over the young adults in the way of sexual deviancy, drugs like marijuana, cocaine, and what am I saying? I'm saying that these women partake in these various things in their own personal life, and they're not, what is it, candid, I think is the word. It's not shrouded, it's not hidden, uh, it's obvious, it's out in the front, it is, old school. Certain things you just didn't do. Whatever you were involved in as an adult, you kept in an adult's world. Children had their world, adults had their world. Adults tended to the world of the children, but the children did not partake in the world of the adults. These particular people, and it's a new time, the children and adults are in the same room, in the same environment, and again, it's all of the nose. Are you warm? Warm? Don't laugh at me. That's, I think she has a fever. Hold on, y'all. Kim. I look at her bag and see if she got a Is Jake here? A thermometer, because I think she has a fever.
Who?
Her. This baby got a fever. Don't be getting sick on the counter. I can't have that.
Come on.
I'm not going no emergency room. Go get you some juice. Say bye, YouTube. I'm getting on my granny lap. Make room for another baby. Go somewhere else. Take her house shoe. Get on. Give her a Cheeto. Yeah, but I think she give her a little juice. She got a little bottle down there. Get out. I'm making a video, and that makes me have to start over, and that makes me mad. It's already hard for me to make video. Bye. Konnichiwa. Arrivederci. Bon voyage. Adios. Close my door. Okay. I apologize. I really do apologize. Now, that's my baby. And most of the interferences you see are my children. But, how can I say it? Their avenue that brings more babies, more youths, more seniors. I got seniors. I mean, I don't even know how to make it make sense how certain entities come into my life. Even before I had children, it was the same way. It's been my whole entire life. So when I testify, hey, devil offered me power and control over this kingdom to manipulate it how I want for my favor. For my favor. I speak of that. Now I know I just jumped from the people that I know sold their souls, whether they know it or not. And so I'm about to talk about how do you know you sold your soul? How? Me, Spirit came and talked to me directly through a person. I watched the person get possessed. Get possessed and be possessed. I watched it. I was like, oh, do we all have that ability to see? Do we have the ability to pay attention? You know, many of us know, I do believe we know, that spirits interact with us in different ways. It's so much, y'all, to talk about. It's so much to talk about, but I want to talk about this because it's important. It lines up with what we're going through at this point in time in the history of humanity, everything, the political, everything. And it's, again, about accepting personal responsibility. And how can I say this, especially when they didn't throw me off? I'm saying that you don't have to be famous to sell your soul to the devil. All you have to do is have influence over something or someone in your life. That ancient, malevolent, negative energy that I speak of, that we call the devil, it doesn't have a physical vessel. At least not now. Maybe when it initially existed, maybe it was in physical form. But this energy that I speak of, it doesn't have a physical form. I even want to go deeper. I really want to go deeper for this video because personally, I believe that um, our creator, divinity, is is everything, including that negative entity. And I say, and we as fragments of divinity are made to embody divine essence. We can embody the positive aspects of divinity, or we can embody the negative aspects of divinity. The source of negativity comes from that ancient, malevolent, negative aspect or energy of divinity. Even if I'm wrong about that, and the devil is just like we've seen him or it in drawings. This is another demonic little demon running around here. The the truth is that it's still a malevolent, negative energy. It's dark. And that's its purpose, its intent, its energy, its soul. And we can embody that. We must embody it, is what I'm talking about now. That, again, that ancient, malevolent, negative energy we call the devil has no physical vessel. So it can't physically touch you, you know? And so it has to have individuals' permission. The I am person, the I am, the vessel, the individual avatar has to have that the person's permission to step in, to give you all of its wisdom about what it means to be evil, grimy, low down, and dirty, so that you can do what? Execute it using what? Your physical vessel, all your five senses, and your abilities as far as touch and seeing, taste and smell and everything. That's what it does. And so this offering to expand your awareness is not solely for those that have sought or are seeking riches and fame. No, it's for everyone. It's for the homeless. It's for, let me tell you how bad, how low it goes. And I'm not calling these people low, but I'm talking about, think, you always hear me bring up the little starving children in Ethiopia. It extends down even to them. And I know you say, how is that possible? What could they possibly get? They're still going to die of hunger or malnutrition. And that's it. You're 100% true. Because most times, at least what I know, the devil don't take you out of something that you're already scheduled to experience. Oh, you're going to experience it. But what you can get is a little more favor. Something like that. What you can do is have a little more opportunities to have influence. So I'm going to look at that example I just gave about, a child, a little starving child in Ethiopia, dying of malnutrition. Devil comes offer that child the opportunity to sell their soul, to use their physical vessel for something. What could they use their physical vessel for? What would a person starving to death want? It to end? Let it end. That might be their greatest desire at a particular point in time of starvation. And the devil says, okay, well, I'll let it end. If you, starving child, you accept pestilence in your body and disease, something that can be spread, from human to human. And the person, the child, just using this example, said, okay, whatever it takes to make this stop, because this is being prolonged, you know. And the devil will grant them the pestilence or the disease that can be spread. And this is just an example, from person to person, or upon their death, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? And that is an opportunity for a person to sell their soul to the devil. So what I'm trying to show, it doesn't matter who you are in this life. If you can have some type of influence on the rest of the world through using your physical vessel in a malevolent way, then you too are offered a contract with the devil. And what you will get is what you need. It's already in it. What you will get is already aligned with what life experiences you are scheduled to have. Talked about the famous or the rock star or the entertainer, and I talked about the child that's dying from malnutrition and what they can get. And I've also talked about myself here, I'll say in the middle. Um, and it's important to know because you fall somewhere in between that super wealthy or super famous person and that child dying of malnutrition. You too can sell your soul to the devil. And I'm willing to bet any amount at various junctures in your life, the devil has made you a deal. The deal was for you to use your soul, SOLE, body or avatar, and its abilities to affect and influence other people in this world. Another thing I wanted to talk about relative to selling your soul to the devil, looking back at those famous people or the super wealthy that also had that moment in time at some point in time, and it comes and goes. These chances. See, we got this idea that it has to go a certain way, that you gotta summons the devil, or the devil just descends upon you in a red suit with horns. That's not what takes place. Not from what I've experienced. It comes to you, and it is a choice. Like I said, me, I watched that entity possess somebody, and I could feel the entity's presence, and I could feel that entity's energy, and I could feel the void of that person. That person could have been far. It was the same sensation as a person being dead and gone, you know. And so again, I'm just sharing my testimony and what the little bit that I know to try to make it clear to you about, yes, it's possible to sell your soul, SOLE, in order to inflict the SOUL of another person. And it also affects, properly influences or has improper impact upon your own soul, SOUL. It was something else I want to talk about. I know I wanted to talk about the little nooks and crannies, the little niches of society. This is another thing that we are not being allowing ourselves to be aware of. And I was talking about the real famous or the super wealthy having an influence upon the masses. Like think of a tray of cupcakes, and you want to make them look like a cake. You just smear the icing over the whole top surface to make it look like a cake. But what about the little nooks and crannies in between the little niches? What are the little niches? We have little niches in this physical world. Some examples of little niches are various age differences. I talked about how I cover certain age brackets. I cover a set of age brackets What it didn't have me covered, pay attention. I wasn't influential. And this is so obvious in my life. I was not influential in my own age bracket. Mm-mm. It was seniors, young adults, and teens, as well as children and infants. But my age bracket, no influence. And so, what am I talking about? I was offered the kingdom of those age brackets, of that little nook or niche or cranny. Other little niches and that that the devil needs to fill in, or that ancient malevolent negative energy needs to fill in. Because see, remember, the superstars or the super wealthy only cover the top layer. The masses get to see a little glimmer, but they don't really understand. There are cultural differences, as far as nationality. There are differences as far as people's occupation. Devil needs to reach all of these places in order to do what? Get down to the soul. Get down to the soul of a person. Go ahead. Next thing, other type of social differences, various ideologies, and sexuality. These are the various niches the devil uses or can get down into. So what am I saying? Like I was offered the ages, those particular age brackets, where the musician may have been offered those that listen to a particular genre of music. Some you hear about all rock or rap, has this impact on a person. And so that entertainer is using their soul, SOLE, vessel, their avatar, to pluck the guitar, or using their tongue to rap the song or sing the song to do what? Get down, have the influence or have an impact upon others, a broad mass number of people, down to their souls. Does that music, a lot, you've heard about it, how some people believe uh, rock and roll lead to drugs and sex and things like that, or rap leads to people wanting to be gangsters and murderers. Yes, this is selling your soul to the devil, because that person says, okay, yes, I will play the music and play in this frequency, and I will give these words to the masses. And it goes down into the masses, into the nooks and niches. And it does what it does. It darkens the soul of man and women. The same thing stands true for me. Where I am in this world, my location is in Detroit. I don't have a broad world outreach, but I can get into this little niche, in this little nook right here in Detroit, in my local environment, amongst all the seniors and young adults and children and infants and babies. And I can be wretched and feed into them wretchedness. And with my five physical senses and my physical capabilities, and have that go down into their soul and affect them on a negative level, a deep, dark, malevolent level. And they'll pay it forward. What? Slowly filling in those various social niches, which ultimately transforms humanity into that ancient, a malevolent and dark entity we call the devil. That's selling your soul to the devil. And again, it can be anything through sexuality. Some people use sex in order to do what? And when you use sex, you know what body part you're going to use, or should be, or can be used for sex. You don't use that body part to inflict something or have an impression or an impact upon another's physical vessel, that whatever happens is going to affect their soul. That's selling your soul to the devil. And it's easy to reframe or repent, even if you started doing it. Like I talked about those women that had the alcohol and the drugs and the sexual pervertedness around the young teens. All they had to do was not do it in front of them. Maybe not even do it come, stop doing it for themselves personally, but at least not expose the young adults to it as if it's okay, and promote it to them, at least. And that's what talks about, that's what repentance is. Stop doing it. I talked about now, stop doing it. If you're doing it, if you signed up, if you sold your soul to the devil and started doing your bid to pay for it, dark, malevolent entity, energy into others' life, just stop doing it. Don't do it. Refrain. Preach against it. Give your testimony. Those kind of things. And why am I making this video? It's because when I talk about we, and I'm talking about me, you, and other people in humanity, don't understand that we are, I talked about it, we are not taking personal responsibility for what we do and the state that the world is in and the experiences that we are having. And I'm saying here in this little video is that a lot of us, many of us, have sold our soul to that ancient, malevolent, negative energy. We gave the nickname the devil. We are doing it. And we act like we don't know it. We don't know it. And that's disturbing. And it's important to understand that, again, the selling your soul to the devil ain't like I guess we've fantasized or imagined in our mind. Selling your soul to the devil is real. It is real. And it happens every day, all day long. Contracts are renewed, rewritten. It depends. And contracts renewed and rewritten. Humanity, individuals in humanity have their own unique life experiences. And those unique life experiences for some change. It's clockwork. And it changes. And we go into these different phases or seasons in life. If you move into a phase or a season where you have influence upon a whole new area or arena, guess what? Devil gonna come back up, submit a new contract to you. Why? Because you don't have like it. I'm gonna use me as an example. If ever I was not around seniors, young adults, teenagers, and children and infants, devil will come up, and wherever I am, say I go into dealing with my own age bracket, that old contract will be done with. It would be over with because I don't have that influence. I don't have that social interaction, engagement going on to have an influence or impact upon those particular age brackets. So the devil will come up and offer me basically in a set of situations or circumstances an opportunity to promote or be the devil's advocate relative to my own age bracket. Anyway, I just wanted to get that idea out there for a reason. I forgot what the reason was. I do know, excuse me, it was about gaining clarity about selling one's soul to the devil, allowing people to know that they are selling the souls to the devil, that you ain't got to summons nothing up. It will come to you, and even if it don't come to you in the way that it came to me, it does come, and it announces itself. It's just about if you are aware or not, or are you moving too fast. Remember, you're going to be involved in your life, whatever it consists of. Your story is written. And so you're going to be living that story out when it comes. And the devil is going to be, I'll say, suited and booted, or have a costume on, or or something that you know that's familiar to you is not going to be shocking, especially if you don't listen to the message. You're just looking at the package, the outside. It's the message that you hear. It's the message that you hear. Many of us don't listen, or we can't handle the truth, or we deny ourselves what we've seen, experienced, or witnessed. Again, the package Might not even be something that throw a flag or cause you to say, "Oh shit, I'm being confronted with something." No, no, it's the message. It's the message. Anyway, thank you for coming by here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and allowing me to share that brief video with you. I plan to make a few more videos because there's some topics that I just want to talk about and clear up so that we can move forward because it's a lot of information that's about to begin to unfold in our lives. Thank you. Bye bye.